Good morning, friends. Listen, I had a friend on here who asked if I could show how to make buttermilk biscuits. So I'm going to show you all how to make buttermilk biscuits pretty quickly. It's easy. Don't overcomplicate it. It really is easy. I've got my oven preheating 425 degrees. In this bowl, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I have everything you need right here. So it really doesn't take that much. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt. Now, some people might add some sugar. We don't like sweet biscuits, so I'm not adding sugar. Then I've got 1/3 of a cup of Crisco shortening. Some people call this lard. You gotta have that in there. And we're just gonna cut it in there. It's probably best if you have that cold. I didn't have mine cold. You don't have to. Like I said, we're not gonna complicate this. I'm gonna use a fork just to kind of get that shortening mixed in. You want it to look a little bit like coarse meal when you cut that shortening in. Listen, there is nothing better on a Sunday morning than a good old buttermilk biscuit. Well, maybe some gravy to go with it, but we'll stick with buttermilk biscuits for right now. Now listen, if you don't have buttermilk, I keep buttermilk, I have buttermilk all the time, but if you don't have it, you can make buttermilk from whole milk. Just use your milk, drop a couple teaspoons of lemon juice in it, couple teaspoons, you could use vinegar instead of lemon juice, but just drop a couple teaspoons of lemon juice in like 2 cups of whole milk. Let it sit on the counter for about 10 minutes, and then you've got buttermilk. Same thing with vinegar, 2 teaspoons of vinegar in that milk, let it sit on the counter, and it will become buttermilk. And you can use it in any of your recipes. Oh, my cornbread recipe, buttermilk. Okay. So what I've done here is I've just used the fork and just kind of cut that shortening in. I don't know if you can see it. See that? Just kind of get it all mixed in there good, and then we're going to add our buttermilk. Now listen, if you don't have shortening, you can use a stick of cold butter. Cut it up small and do the same thing I just did. It will work. I like shortening biscuits. Sometimes I like butter biscuits. But shortening, these just make the best buttermilk biscuits. And then I'm just gonna, if you can see, and I'm just still using my fork, y'all. You don't even have to change your utensil here. See, as it starts to pull away from the bowl, that's when you know that's what you want. Then we're gonna turn this out onto I've laid out my little mat here for rolling dough. We're not gonna roll dough. Well, we are gonna roll this, but not right away. I'm gonna knead it just a few times. Let me get a little bit of flour and put on this. I'm gonna do all of this right here on this little rolling mat. Super easy, y'all. Super easy to make buttermilk biscuits. And this is like just an old-fashioned, my mama's recipe. My mama made buttermilk biscuits almost every single day. My dad was a biscuit man, and he liked biscuits almost every day. Now listen, you don't want to overwork this dough. So we're not going for like kneading it like you would if you're making homemade bread. You have to really knead that stuff. This you don't, because you don't want to make your biscuits tough. So we're just gonna a few times, just kind of knead that just a little bit. Now we're gonna pat it out and we're gonna cut them. Let me wash my hands and then I'll show you that. Okay, so I've got my little rolling pin out here and I've just put a little bit of flour on it. And we're just gonna roll these biscuits out a little bit. Like, we don't want them, real thin. We don't want real thin biscuits. And then I'm just gonna cut them. We're gonna probably get probably 6 biscuits out of this. I'll wait and do the next ones because I have to pull this up. So I've got this rolled out. I want to tell y'all, you don't even need a rolling pin. You can do this with your hands. If you don't have a rolling pin, you don't need it. You don't have to have it. And listen, your biscuits don't have to look perfect. Listen, in this house, we like things that aren't perfect. Things that aren't perfect are actually more our favorite. It ends up being our favorite things. So, okay, so I've got 6 biscuits there, and I can actually make at least 2 more. So if you see, I've got them sitting on my cookie sheet here, and I like to put them close because I feel like they raise a little bit better if you put them close. So I'll do this. I'm not gonna make y'all watch this. I'm gonna finish these up, and I'm gonna pop them in a 425-degree oven for about 20 minutes. We'll see. When we come back, I'll tell you how long I baked them for. Okay, y'all, these biscuits just came out of the oven. It took 15 minutes. So I'm gonna grab one here, and JR is gonna be our tester. Ooh, they're really hot. Oh, look at that. Look at that, y'all. Look at that beautiful buttermilk biscuit. Let's add some butter to it. JR, let you get in the shot and you add your own butter that you want. He's gonna be my taste tester today, y'all. This is my oldest son, JR.
Hi, everybody.
And he's making a little bit of a mess with the butter on the counter, but we'll take care of that later.
You know, mind your business. All right.
All right, show it to him.
Nice and light and fluffy, and now very buttery. Delicious.
There you go, y'all. Easy, simple buttermilk biscuits. Bye now.